Hi. Hello, and welcome, one and all, to the finals of Grand Slam Galaxy Season 2. I am your commissioner, Willie or Wonty, and after I realized that I left my light off, and I get to glow in the warm rays of photons, I can lead us forward into the finals of Grand Slam Galaxy Season 2. It has been quite the season to get us here. Trips and turns all around. Once again, some upsets in the quarterfinals. And once again, despite it all, the top two regular season teams have made it here to the end. Just to go over our finals bracket and all the series that got us here. First off, in quarterfinal number 1, the Infernos in seed number 5 took on the Wilds in seed number 4 in a Slobberknocker series of 3 games, a word I use specifically because my partner got mad at me when I used it the first time. They battled back and forth. The away team won every single game. The first 2 games were by a margin of just 2 runs, not being decided all the way up until inning number 9 in both cases, before the Infernos pulled away with the momentum to take the quarterfinal from the Wilds. Quarterfinal number 2 on the opposite side of the pond. The 3rd seed, the Monsters, against the 6th seed Monarchs. After the Monsters dominated the scoreboard for so long early in the season, going back and forth, both teams relatively convincingly actually taking the first 2 games on their away sides before we headed to Daisy Cruiser, and in one of the tightest games that we saw the entire season, the Monarchs, who got their first win on Daisy Cruiser, got their last win of the season on Daisy Cruiser, as they pulled away 8-7, and the 6th seed went over the 3rd seed. Just to tackle it, of course, those Monarchs, that seed number 6, went up against the 2nd seed, the Ron Eggs, where they were defeated relatively roundly on Wario City and Mario Stadium. Peach's defense just losing a little bit of steam, no doubt. Pitching arm being tired out by the heavy hitters that are the Monsters team. But the Ron Eggs secured their place in the finals relatively cleanly after getting 2nd place in the season, earned them their bye. On the other side, you would think, well, if seed number 2 had a semifinal that was a 2-0, surely the 1st seed made it through just as cleanly. And no, the Infernos brought everything they had in the series against the Flowers. Both Flowers victories determined by last-minute big home runs. The Infernos trying their absolute hardest to bring it through for the series. All 3 games ending in close games. Game 1 and 2 not being decided up until inning number 9, and Game 3 not being decided until 2 extra innings got played through. But in the end, despite it all, the Flowers finally snuffed out the Infernos and earned their spot in our Grand Slam Galaxy Season 2 finals. The Ron Eggs and the Flowers, Seed 1 and Seed 2. As a reminder, the Flowers went 11-3. The Ron Eggs went 10-4. But funnily enough, of those Ron Eggs 10-4, they only lost against 2 teams. They went 0-2 in their series against the Wilds, and they went 0-2 against in their series against the Flowers. The Rotten Eggs have yet to beat this Flowers squad at all. Meanwhile, the Flowers, after a very, very dominating season and a bit of a close call in the semifinals, look to firmly secure their spot atop Grand Slam Galaxy Season 2 as your champions. The pick and ban system went down like this. First, both teams got to pick a stadium. The Flowers chose Junior's Playroom, which has been a comfort pick for them for a long time this season, Kayle being one of the few players that can score home runs on that stadium. So it tends to snuff out opposing offenses while keeping the Flowers flame lit. The Rotten Eggs, for their home pick, picked a bit of an oddball one. They chose Yoshi Park. Now, the coaching staff of the Rotten Eggs may not remember why on earth they thought that Yoshi Park was a good idea. Perhaps they just assumed that if they were going to go to Yoshi Park anyway, it was better to have home field advantage on it. Perhaps they saw the Flowers' recent string of difficulties on Yoshi Park and thought that maybe the secret sauce of the stadium helped the opponents more than it helped the Flowers. Regardless, Yoshi Park was the pick for the Rotten Eggs, who then banned out Warrior City, which makes sense. Surprisingly, though, the Flowers then banned out Daisy Cruiser, actually, which also makes sense. Both teams not wanting a quick home run derby of a game on either side, which probably helps out the Flowers more in this last final. Then, the Flowers, for their second pick, chose to bring us to Luigi's Mansion, another oddball comfort pick where the closer infield can let deep hits run rampant. So we'll have to see whether the Rotten Eggs are able to close it out on Luigi's Mansion or whether the Flowers' streak on it will continue. Our fourth pick, well, one small stadium had to make it through, and Mario Stadium isn't exactly big. The Standard will sit as game number 4, and for our finale, DK Jungle, where the Flowers will have home field advantage as the higher seed team, which will be played during the daytime, which, in my opinion, still sits as the more chaotic for day-night cycles on DK Jungle. I believe that daytime DK Jungle is a bit more chaotic. I think that the Flowers are a little bit more impactful than the Earthquakes. So, we'll see what happens if we make it there. It's a long series to get there, 5 games in total, of course. First to 3, and let's meet and talk about our two teams. The Rotten Eggs, as the seed number 2 team, were actually the last team to go undefeated in this season. The only team to go out to a record of 3-0 before they fell. But despite that, quickly settled back into a solid top of the leaderboard, but not top of the season slot. Very respectable path, of course, for them to get here. A couple of trades here. Of course, the team started as that 3-captain rotation with Birdo, Wario, and Mario before Mario was traded away for the new home run hitter of the team, Firebro. They've actually swapped up their batting rotation very slightly heading into this last game because of the opposing captain pitcher. We'll get into her in a second, though. For the Rotten Eggs, the game plan is relatively simple. Who gets out? All of the players on this team are pretty solid hitters. The weakest on the team is Yellow Shy Guy, and we've seen Shy Guys hit particularly well this season. Maybe the Jerseys, Thermite and Statler, have a little bit of trouble here and then, but when Jersey players are what you're pointing out to as the possible weak link, that consistent offensive pressure can crack a lot of teams. Meanwhile, on the defense, the two captains that they still have, Birdo and Wario, provide an awful lot of pitching stability. Firebro, of course, tagging in on the second base means that both second base and shortstop have a suction ability and will be able to stop any errant balls. Teams that want to do well on the offense against the Rotten Eggs need to bring power to get to the outfield. And finally, to close out our section, the Rotten Eggs' weaknesses. The outfield here is a little bit slow compared to other teams, and while they do have synergy, it's fine synergy. Not to mention the fact that there's kind of a synergy island on the Rotten Eggs offense. This roster that they have right now is the least number of synergy breaks possible for them. They were actually running the season with, I believe, 3 synergy breaks throughout their batting roster. They now sit at 2 because there is no way with their current roster for them to connect Salamander, the Red Critter, Thermite, and Firebro to the rest of the team. They have to rely on those batters getting it done through pure power and skill alone. Now, for the Flowers, we're actually going to start off on defense with their captain, Daisy, and Luigi, the co-captain, sub-captain, I suppose, being one of the strongest pitching rotations in this league. Luigi has pitched more than his fair share of complete or near complete games, as the Flowers defense proves so hard to crack, and Daisy herself being an excellent defensive stronghold. Her start pitch not just being good for shutting down star hitters, but really checking to make sure that opposing offenses have lots of synergy. Otherwise, that star pitch can just turn into a guaranteed out. Worse than that, if the runners aren't ready, it could turn into a double play if they get tripped up by it. Now, of course, on offense, the Flowers have had no issues. Look at the first 3 batters. Daisy, Luigi, Luisi. Daisy being a very, very solid choice for outfield hits. Luigi and Luisi, both fine slap hitters. Luigi having a bit more luck than Luigi this season. But then you get to the Critter K-Rool combo. And these batters are insane together. Not only that, but with the synergy addition of Luigi in front of them, if Luigi and Critter can get on base and provide that synergy boost to K-Rool, there's nothing in the world that can stop him from getting a home run. Meanwhile, on the back end, you would look at some of these plays and you would think, these don't seem that strong to me. But Baby Luigi, Lady Yoshi, and Baby Daisy have consistently put up work as slap hitters to get on base and put on additional pressure. You would think that maybe the latter half of this offense would have trouble and collapse like so many teams have been known to do, but no. Those slap hitters, those babies in the back, they have been so good at driving in just a few more runs. And that means that the offense is well-rounded, the defense is well-rounded, the outfield is speedy as hell. If anything, the one criticism that maybe you could levy at the Flowers, something that the Rotten Eggs will look to exploit, is maybe the fact that if Critter and K-Rool don't have a good game, this team's offensive threat level can diminish relatively quickly. But even then, they have such consistent ability to get on base with the rest of their players that usually isn't a problem. And with the extra star power, it's really hard to make K-Rool have a bad game. We'll see what happens. The second seed of the Rotten Eggs versus the first seed of the Flowers. Grand Slam Galaxy Season 2 is nearing its close, and we have to find out who comes out as the champion. The teams are ready. The stage is set. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me for Season 2. And it's time now, as I stall for a couple more seconds while I make absolutely sure that both teams are 100% correct, especially since the Rotten Eggs have swapped up their lineups. The players look set, and it's time to start the 5-game process of crowning our Grand Slam Galaxy Season 2 champion. We start with the Flowers as the first seed, having home field advantage and taking us to Junior's Playroom. I said before in the warm-up that Junior's Playroom has a great tendency to shut down a lot of teams' offense besides the Flowers, where K-Rool and his power can prove nigh unbeatable. So we'll have to see whether or not the Rotten Eggs can get started early, or whether they start to fold early in this finals. Birdo, back at the top of the batting order, won't have a lot of luck to start. She'll fall to a quick catch by the shortstop, but Salamander wants to start this game off with a bang. He'll take a wall shot, and that power block disruption doesn't really matter. He had basically reached second base by that point anyway. But still, a fine double by Salamander to start off the Ron-Eggs offense. We'll see if Thermite is able to advance the runner. Luigi, of course, we should expect to see a long game from him. Thermite with a beautiful shot out to right field. It's caught out against Yoshi. And Salamander dibble-dabbles on whether or not he wants to run to third. But regardless, Firebro will not have any synergy on the bases. If he wants a big home run hit on Junior's Playroom, he'll have to do it alone. 2 outs against the Ron-Eggs. Contact from Firebro launches out to right field, and that is a fast hit. It'll be a single, an RBI single, as Salamander traipses in, but the Ron-Eggs at least get their offense started here in the top of inning number 1. Perfection. That's what I was listening for. I wasn't sure if Red Yoshi got absolutely creamed by Chain Chomp in the outfield, but apparently he did. Yellow Toad looks like he's not going to be able to keep this inning going, as he will ground out. Daisy snagging that one and securing out number 3. The Ron-Eggs start on the board, which is not always the easiest thing to do on Junior's Playroom. Now the Ron-Eggs have to start their defense against the Flowers, where their first 5 batters can prove so devastating. Daisy looks to prove that early, copying, if anything. No! I was going to say copying Salamander's shot to the wall, but Daisy has the accuracy to find the slot, and the Flowers don't just want to start with a run, they want to start with a statement, as the captain finds the perfect angle to trick out the outfielders and score the first run for the Flowers off the first pitch. Luigi keeps the gravy train moving. An easy single from him as Luigi steps to the plate. Now, of course, the Ron-Eggs have a pretty good pitching rotation, but it's not immovable, and this is where we start to see the flaw in the game plan. Firebro can reel in that grounder from Luigi, but it'll take so long that he won't be able to secure the double play. Luigi will be able to safely tag up on second base. 1 out and a runner on second. Flowers in pretty good position here as Critter takes his first swings of the finals. Bit of a weak hit on an inside pitch, but the fireball disrupts him, and that'll be runners on the corners as the king himself can really start off the Flowers on Junior's Playroom with no problems. Charge hit flies out to right field. Listen for it. I don't think that's catchable. It is not. And 2 home runs and 5 batters really sets the Flowers off a swinging 1-4 scoreline in the first inning, and only 1 out on the board. Worse yet, this will of course start chasing Thermite off early. But the Ron-Eggs start off well. The Flowers start off this game looking like champions. Baby Luigi grounds out, so that's a small relief for the Ron-Eggs, who will put the Flowers up on 2 outs, as Red Yoshi takes his first swings of the finals. First pitch is an outside strike. Second pitch, Red Yoshi drills it to center field. Statler is not able to get under it, and that'll be a single. That doesn't mean that it's just a single. That means that Thermite will start tiring in inning number 1. And, well, the comeback is always possible, but it's not bad when you're calling it a comeback in the bottom of the first. Baby Daisy grounds out. The 3rd out is secured. But the Flowers managed to see 8 batters in the first inning. 4 runs. And 2 big homers. All right. Ron-Eggs, can you start bringing this back? YP in his position up from the top of the batting order, where he was for most of this season. We'll start off the second with a calm slap to center for a single. Securing that, Statler will follow him up. The extra synergy boost might prove nice. We'll see. A charge hit is what you want to see on a field like Junior's Playroom. But it's a slap right to Daisy. The shell misses. That's just a double play to clear off the bases. So Ron-Eggs, a little bit of trouble in the second. We'll see if Wario is able to pull anything out of this hat. The sub-captain with a slap out to center field mimicking YP. Would have been a pretty great shot if there were runners on base, but without runners on base, it'll just be up to batter number 9, Yellow Shy Guy, to keep the inning going. A charge hit to center field is caught by the ever-speedy Baby Daisy. And you can expect me to say that quite a lot during this game. Baby Daisy's speed, of course, one of the top center fielders in the league. And it means that while the Ron-Eggs do manage to see all 9 batters in the first 2 innings, they still sit 3 runs behind these Flowers. JC will step up and ground out to the shortstop Birdo. So they're at least in a better position than they were in the top of the first when they were facing off Daisy with 0 outs on the board. But we'll see what Thermite's able to get out of Daisy this time. A good shot to left field. Yellow Toad is not able to get under it, and that means that that's a clean single for the captain. Shout out to Yellow Toad, of course, for bouncing that shell away with his butt. Good job, I see you, buddy. Luigi, with Daisy on first base, slaps it out to center field. That'll be 2 runners on off that single. And with 1 out on the board, 2 runners on. Luigi up. If he gets another single, and Critter and K-Rool are able to come up with only 1 out on the board and with synergy on the bases, it's going to be real unstoppable first 2 innings from these Flowers. But it's a ground out. Birdo and Firebro turn the double play and shut down the offense. No runs for the Flowers. They will be starting off next inning in a great position with Critter and K-Rool, though. And when you're still 3 runs behind, the pressure remains on these Ron-Eggs to start firing back. No pressure is on Luigi. He still remains unbothered on that central mound, where he'll force Birdo to ground out to start off the top of the 3rd. Salamander, no synergy for the man, no availability for it really on this team. And 2 strikes with an outside pitch. Catches the slider, and it barely touches down before Baby Luigi's able to get his glove on it. A matter of inches, turns up a single. So Thermite versus Luigi. We'll see if he's able to put on extra pressure. A charge hit, but Critter simply cleanly picks it up, and it's another double play to end the inning. It only took 3 batters for the Ron-Eggs 3rd to come to an end. Meanwhile, for the Flowers, well, Critter K-Rool. This turned into, well, 2 runs basically for them last time. Critter drills 1 out to right field. It'll end up just being a single, but every additional bit of pressure with K-Rool up, he's got synergy on the bases. We'll see if he's able to knock away 2 home runs in 2 appearances. He doesn't like the first outside, well, slow ball, really. This next one's right down the middle, though, but bad contact will lead to a double play, and both the Crocs will head back to the dugout. Situation diffused for the Ron-Eggs as Baby Luigi steps up. A little bit of trouble following up the success of K-Rool last time, but we'll see if maybe now that K-Rool floundered, the baby gets on base. No. Birdo's able to catch it up, and it is a double play for both, but both teams simply aren't able to do anything in the 3rd. 3 batters, 3 outs. That'll bring up Firebro for the Ron-Eggs. A lot of power behind his bat. You can hope for a single or double. Of course, a home run opportunity doesn't mean more than 1 run on the board. As that's a foul on the 2nd pitch. Outside curveball caught, goes to the wall. It will stay in. Thank God Baby Daisy is so short. Otherwise, that would have been a caught out. But Firebro getting on with a single. Yellow Toad follows it up. Not a lot of success in his first attempt, but the 2nd attempt drilled out to center field will mean another single, and the Ron-Eggs offense starts to pick up some pressure. Runners on 1st and 2nd for YP. Luigi will, of course, keep Firebro honest. Firebro kept honest twice. A charge hit from YP simply turns into a double play. The bad contact leading to Critter being able to pick that one up and secure the double. Statler follows it up by grounding out his own, and no, these Ron-Eggs have not been able to find anything ever since the 1st inning. Relatively quiet for them. Hopefully, of course, for any Ron Eggs fans out there, the Flowers can be kept quiet as well. But we've seen so many good, surprising offensive turnouts from the back half of this Flowers lineup. Lady Yoshi isn't able to replicate that success. He simply pops one out to center field and is caught out. Baby Daisy pops one straight to shortstop. Birdo secures out for out number 2. Thermite, after being tied in the first inning, has managed to last at least through most of the bottom of the 4th, through all the way to the bottom of the 4th. JC caught out on a grounder. And while the Flowers will return to the top of the batting order in the 5th, it's 3 up, 3 down for them in the bottom of the 4th. Warrior will start out the 5th, though, for these Ron Eggs. We'll see what he's able to do. He was able to start a little bit of a rally for them 2 innings ago, but it didn't really help matters, as no runs were able to be scored for these Ron Eggs. That slap hit out to right field, though, could be the start of something for this offense. It was base hits that brought in the Ron Eggs' first run. The Flowers have used 2 home runs to bring in all of their runs so far. And a shot out to center field, assisted by a little bit of Bullet Bill disruption. Yellow Shy Guy almost thinks to run for third, but no, he'll just be happy with Wario being able to go all the way around the bases. The Pow Block and the Bullet Bill, both disruptions necessary to really stop this Flowers defense. But it turns into an RBI double for Yellow Shy Guy, and the lead is shrunk to 2. Bit of a lucky turnout for the Ron Eggs, and a close play on third, as in a funny turn of events, Birdo's ball is too slow for Critter to grab it in time to get Yellow Shy Guy out. That just means that it's runners on the corners and no outs still for these Ron Eggs, as their offense comes alive in the top of the 5th. Salamander blasts one out to left field. Is that one gonna be gone? Yes, it is! And quick offensive retaliation. The Ron Eggs plant their feet, swing their bats, and have managed to go 4 batters without a response from the Flowers defense to take the lead in this game. There's still no outs on the board. Thermite faces down Luigi, who now starts to feel the pressure. He will be the first out of this inning, though, as Daisy keeps her team ready, catches the grounder, and secures out number 1. Fire Bro got on base both of his attempts so far here. At the top of the 5th, with his team looking good, he always has the opportunity to start a second series of good base hits, but a weak shot to shortstop will just turn into out number 2. Yellow Toad versus Luigi. 2 outs on the board against him. Charge hit, not what we expect from Yellow Toad, but it will, well, run foul. So with 2 strikes against him, pitch, caught, but Daisy keeps her team focused, and despite all the pressure, is able to pull through for 2 big outs this inning, and to make sure that the Ron Eggs lead is only 1. Meanwhile, the Flowers, back at the top of their batting order with Daisy to start, have plenty of runway to stomp that lead. Shout out to Thermite. He got tired inning number 1, but he's held on all the way through at least the start of the bottom of the 5th. Daisy shot out to center field. Might be enough to take him out. We'll see whether or not that is the last call. Yes, it is. And is it Wario or Birdo? Wario brought in from third base. This is good news for the Ron Eggs. They can be pretty solid now, since Birdo will be staying on that shortstop position with the section catch ability. Luigi drills one out to left field. That one actually has the opportunity to go out of here. But Yellow Toad and Statler, the first outfield pairing to actually buddy jump successfully so far this game, snag Luigi's attempt. That was the first successful buddy jump, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. We'll see whether or not Luigi is able to advance the runner. Of course, with one out and a runner on first, it's always possible for this inning to end, but unexpected if it does. Luigi has been so good for his team for so long. The dive from Salamander, though, catches the attempt at a grounder to escape to right field, and yes, it is a double play. The Rotten Eggs, thanks in part to Salamander. That's why Critters typically are on shortstop or second base, but brought on to first base, Salamander has not had a chance to show those quick reflexes for most of the season. He does so there to secure the double play and keep the Rotten Eggs in the lead heading into the 6th. It's not as if Yellow Pianta is going to have much success, though. Keeping that going, he grounds out to Daisy at second base. And Statler steps up next, one out against the team. Slap on an inside curveball will escape out to center field. That'll be a single for Statler. We'll see what Wario is able to do against Luigi. Deep slider. Well, Wario was thinking deeply as he lets that one slide by him. He'll catch the curveball though. The slap out to left field will not be able to touch down safely before Baby Luigi is able to get under it. You're gonna have to wake up pretty early in the morning to trick out this Flowers outfield. I'll bring Yellow Shy Guy up. Runner on first still, 2 outs. A charge hit to left field. Baby Luigi's under it nice and early. We shouldn't expect this shell to come in time, and it will not. It'll just be out number 3. As the Flowers defense makes pretty solid work of the back half of the Bows offense. Now, once again, Critter and K-Rool with the opportunity to put up big numbers for their team. They will be expected to do so. Critter tries to drill one out to center field, but he's caught out by Statler. He says no love on the bases for K-Rool. He doesn't need it for a big home run, but without the extra power, he's only able to drill out a line drive to center right field. It's a good single from the man, but it's not enough to immediately tie the game. Baby Luigi will have to be the first batter to try to start bringing him around the bases. That Baby will have to make sure he is good sight young as a trick ball from Wario caught successfully by Baby Luigi. The bird doesn't amount to much. It was a clean single either way, but it does mean there's a runner on first and second for Red Yoshi. I hyped up the batting power of the back half of this offense, and I believe that still firmly stands still. Wario pitches. Red Yoshi catches it. It will stay inside the field. The banana actually catches out Baby Luigi and stops him from successfully reaching second. But Birdo plays it safe, knowing she has to watch K-Rool on third, or just forgets to throw it to first regardless. And the Flowers still maintain runners on the corners despite the 2 outs. Baby Daisy, a charge hit here could very well be enough to bring in the tying run. It will go to center field, but Statler manages to grab it just before it touches down, and the Flowers' opportunity is shut down. The Rotten Eggs will enter the last 3 innings of game number 1, still maintaining a lead as they head to the top of their batting order. Birdo attempts to sneak one past Daisy to go out to right field, but has not been able to touch the bases ever since inning number 1. She's simply picked up by Daisy, and the ground out will be the way the Rotten Eggs start the 7th. Salamander, of course, drills another shot out to left field. This one should be caught by Baby Luigi and Baby Daisy. Yes, it is. Out number 2 against the Rotten Eggs. That 1-run lead still sits to be dissolved at any given moment. Baby Daisy and Baby Luigi make sure it stays fragile. His first 2 batters out quickly. Thermite has to try to find something. He will. He drills one out right over to where that double from Yellow Shy Guy earlier helped the Rotten Eggs really start this game. And Firebro is brought up. Luigi knows he's out of gas, steps back, and lets the Captain Daisy come into close. With no item support, those Flower Star pitches could be so devastating, but Firebro clocks one out to center right field. It's not caught by Baby Daisy and Red Yoshi. And the captain subs in, throws a test pitch, and Firebro comes up big for the Rotten Eggs, Both teams have secured 2 home runs now, and the Ronix have scored a 3-run lead. Finally, Daisy throws out that flower pitch, but Yellow Toad decides not to swing on it. Second pitch, he will smack. That will be a single. With 2 outs on the board and the power hitters out of the way, the Ronix will be happy to get as deep as they can into their batting order. They're not expecting magic, and they won't get it. YP's line drive, caught in right field by Red Yoshi. And that extra 2 runs on the board is good news for Ronix fans, as they will sit up by 3 heading into the 7th inning stretch. Coming out of that stretch will be coming out of the end of the days of the Flowers batting lineup in just a moment, depending on JC's performance. Drills one out to center right, inspired by all the recent home runs, but without the power. I think that one would have just bounced off the wall, honestly, if it wasn't caught. Regardless, Statler and Yellow Shy Guy are there to snag it anyway and secure out number 1. The Flowers will head back to the top of the batting order with well, I was gonna say 1 strike against them, but no, it's an out against them. Daisy wants to replicate the success of her first inning. The pop fly could disrupt Statler in the outfield, but it won't. He has the height to make sure his buddy hit brings the ball over to Yellow Toad regardless, and that's 2 big attempts at hits that are caught out by the Ronix defense. Luigi tries to find the gap in left field to sneak one out of here, but it just runs foul just a moment too late. Instead, the changeup will be slapped and brought in by Birdo. 3 up, 3 out against the Flowers. Still plenty of opportunity to bring this back. You can never count them out, but this Ronix defense has sealed up ever since Kaul, batter number 5 for the Flowers. Back in inning number 1, no Flowers player has seen the plate except to walk up to bat and leave to head back to the dugout. Besides, I suppose, the Flowers catcher, that is, funnily enough, Kaul. Wario still needs to find his way past Daisy if he wants to extend this lead. He does barely manage to snag that fastball on the outside, and that slap secures a single as he'll traipse over to first base. Yellow Shy Guy faces down Daisy. These fastballs can be so devastating inside now. He's ready for it, but it just means that his line drive will fall safely into Baby Luigi's glove. He barely even had to move to snag that one. Birdo has not had a lot of luck since inning number 1, but finally Daisy's attempt at a fastball caught, sent out to center field, but Baby Luigi and Baby Daisy are there. It's good effort, help. On many other stadiums, it would have not have been enough time for the outfielders to get into position. But the babies are there, they snag it, and they stop the damage. We will be heading into the bottom of the 8th as the Flowers. This could be the last time that their deadly combo of Critter and Kaul sees the plate this game. It's up to Wario and the Ronix defense to try to secure game number 1. Firebro, devastating catch will reel in Luigi, but still, Critter, if he can see through Wario's tricks, could set up a big play, smacks it to center field. That's exactly what the Flowers need. Luigi had a bit of trouble, but Critter makes it to first base, and Kaul stares his prey down. Charge up. Watches pitch number 1. Pitch number 2 is more inside. Charge up. Contact. It's not high enough. It's a line drive to right field. Regardless, for the Flowers, there's still some good news. There's only 1 out on the board for them, and their batters are on the corners. Good single here brings in at least 1 and shrinks the lead to 2. But will 3 strikes mark the end of Baby Luigi. Catches the outside pitch. That is a good single, and Kaul barely manages to traipse to second in time to be safe. Critter had no time getting to home plate though, sliding in, metaphorically and literally, to shrink the Ronix lead to 2. If Red Yoshi can do the batting we all know he can do, that Ron-Egg leaves could turn to nothing heading into inning number 9. Good charge contact hit to the pocket. We should see K. Rool run home. The chain chomp disruption. Stadler missing the ball as well. It's a fired shot to home. Will it catch out Baby Luigi? It will! The game will not be tied as the Ron-Eggs defense barely comes together to stop that tying run of Baby Luigi from safely making it home. After a little bit of chain chomp disruption though, they managed to fire it off and secure out number 2. Regardless, with 2 outs on the board, the lead has shrunk to 1. Baby Daisy's attempt just goes straight to Salamander on third base. And the Flowers have done an excellent job. They will start in batter number 9, so they will take 6 batters to get to K. Rool, which is, well, basically the exact amount where they could get 2 strikes, 2 outs, and load the bases. Salamander does swing. Finally, there is contact on a Daisy star pitch, but it doesn't matter as Luigi confidently knocks it over to Critter for out number 1, avoiding that power block. Thermite faces down Daisy. Line drive to right field. Red Yoshi cannot get under it in time, so that's a single. There is signs of life in this Ron-Eggs offense. Could be more than signs of life if Firebro makes it so. But he slaps it. It will just barely escape Luigi on second base. That devastating double play could have sent us in to the bottom of the 9th, but no. It's a near miss, and Yellow Toad steps up. He faces down against another star pitch. A boo will not help much. An infield fly will help even less. That's simply out number 2. Looks like Daisy will last exactly as long as she needs to. YP steps to the plate. It's an early charge for him. That shot to right field will just land right in Red Yoshi's glove. And there's no love for the Ron-Eggs in the top of the 9th. Like they did so many times in their series against the Infernos, the Flowers want this game. They have the opportunity to seal it in the bottom of the 9th. The Flowers did a remarkable job of shutting down the Flowers offense for so many innings. Will they collapse right at the end? We enter the bottom of the 9th, 7-6, as JC's contact simply goes straight to second base player Firebro for out number 1. Daisy started off this game with a home run. Another one could, of course, tie it. The slider flies past her. Second pitch from Wario. It's just a slap from Daisy. Sucked in by Birdo. That means that shortstop and second base have secured out number 2 and out number 1 respectively. Luigi, game 1 rests on your shoulders. The inside pitch slapped. Birdo not able to bring it in. That means that there is still a chance, as Luigi successfully makes it to first base. A steal attempt. The suction ball from Birdo barely throws the ball to first to secure the 3rd out before the bomb can explode. So many other items could have saved that play, could have put runners on first and second for Critter and K. Rool. But it might have just come down to the bomb not being enough to stop Birdo, as the Ron-Eggs managed to get game number 1 and take the Flowers home field pick, getting their first win against the Flowers the entire season. MVP honors to start off this finals go to Salamander, and it's hard to argue with that. Sorry. Very well earned, as it was his big... Wait, was it his home run that brought in 3 in the 5th? I believe it was, if I remember correctly. Still though, the Ron-Eggs, admirable job on offense by all players involved to try to bring this game back. It'll secure them the first game in these finals. Let's take a look at the scores, of course. It was a really, really even game for these Ron-Eggs offense. We expect lower box totals on Junior's Playroom, of course. The more defensive stadium leading to less flashy offensive plays. But Salamander, sitting tight in that second position with no help, still puts up enough offensive numbers to secure his team's MVP. Meanwhile, for the Flowers, it's actually Daisy who got her MVP score, funnily enough tying Salamanders, which is cute. That home run to start the game, all that great work on second base that she did in order to keep the Roneg's score as low as possible, well-earned honors from her. Junior's Playroom does go the way of the Ronegs, so they will steal the home pick advantage away from the Flowers. Of course, the Flowers have more than enough opportunity to retaliate, as we will head now to Yoshi Park. In the daytime, this chaotic field has been known to trick out both teams. Of course, who can forget Week 8's excellent, electrifying game where the Flowers were brought low by the Wilds 3-2 on the stadium, and more recently against the Infernos in the finals, or in the semifinals, excuse me, also fell 8-9. Their offenses tend to fall a little bit flat. Meanwhile, the Ronegs, was it their first loss on the season, actually? Yeah, the Ronegs' first loss of the season was on Peach's Ice Garden. Please excuse me. But still, not big fans of Yoshi Park over on that side. Their record for the season on Yoshi Park sitting at a calm, well, 100%, but only because they've only gone there once. We'll see now whether or not the Flowers can really make the park bloom and take away game number 2, right after I remember to make absolutely certain that we will not have a roster error in the finals. Everything looks clean to me. Yep. Okay. Well, with everything looking just clean and dandy, we are ready to head into game number 2 of the finals. The Ronegs with home field advantage. It was a bit of a relief, honestly, on my side. After the quarterfinals, well, we went for a real good stretch in Season 2, where the home team won every single game from, let me see, from Playday 7 through Playday 9. 3 Playdays in a row. The home team won every single game, so I was worried that maybe something in Grand Slam Galaxy gave a big advantage to the home team, as Daisy knocks one shot out to left field, but considering that was the away team that won every game in the quarterfinals, I think we can excuse that notion. Luigi pops one out to left field, and the captains start off this game hot. Runner on first, runner on second, of course, for the Flowers, as Luigi steps back up to the plate. We'll see what he's able to do. Pitch number 1 inside is simply washed. Outside pitch this time. Charge contact doesn't escape the infield as Salamander picks it up, and the double play is secured. Now with Critter stepping up, there's still plenty of opportunity to bring Daisy home, but again, twice now, Salamander making that diving play and turning a hit that could have escaped to the outfield into 2 outs on the board. Critter's slap over to center field is a clean 1 run. Shot up the middle to put the Flowers on the board early. And with K-Roll up next, that lead could very easily extend. I'm not sure if they have been any play punches this season, actually. I don't know what changed, but I don't like the Jinx. Regardless, Critter, K-Roll line drive to right field. Let's Critter advance all the way to third, puts him on first. So runners on the corners at 2 outs. The Flowers still having a chance to score 2 in this inning. If Baby Luigi can get a good hit. Inside is caught weak, but the boo might just disrupt the defense. It will! Baby Luigi traipses his way onto the base just in time. And despite Birdo's attempt, that's a single off a weak hit. Well enough, any stronger and it would have been an out. But that lets the Flowers go up to 2-0 in the top of the first. Great offensive start for them as Red Yoshi, batter number 6, slaps it. No boo to stop Birdo from grabbing it this time. She secures the 3rd out on second base with Firebro's help. And the Flowers start off the game hot. Birdo versus Luigi. It's a big charge from Birdo to start, but she'll simply let the first pitch fly away regardless. She'll settle for a slap. That one to center left, picked up by baby Luigi relatively quickly, but not quick enough. It's still a single. So going on first for last game's MVP, Salamander. Straight down the middle from Luigi. And it's a good shot to center right field. Birdo might get caught out here. She will tag back up to second base just in time. I don't think she thought that center fielder could grab that, but good eye from her to make sure she gets back to second safely. Weak shot from Thermite. Once again, the double play will clear off first and second, as Birdo does manage to get her way over to third. Power hitter for the Ron Eggs. Firebro has a chance to bring in his captain and get the Ron Eggs on the board. Inside pitch. Watches the curveball from Luigi. Disciplined, but more on the outside now. Caught by Firebro, but unless there's some train disruption here, there is! That slow train coming in at the last possible moment. Red Yoshi and Baby Daisy not ready for it. And the Ron Eggs managed to absolutely steal away a 2-run homer off train interference to tie up this Yoshi Park game. As if the Fates were correcting themselves a little bit, Yellow Toad immediately grounds out to shortstop Critter. But both teams find success. That said, the Flowers' success was a lot more convincing. No help needed from the field, just good clean play from them. Ron Eggs starting off a little bit rockier, a little bit weaker, but when you get a little bit of train assistance, Yoshi Park can really decide whether you win or lose. Baby Daisy, meanwhile, keeping up the Flowers' trend of clean plays. It's a slap from her for a single to bring up JC in the end of the Flowers' batting order here on the top of the ninth. It was, well, strong contact, but poorly aimed contact from JC, actually, though. Third baseman Wario picks it up, and it's an easy double play to clear the bases. They are back to the top of the batting order, and Daisy could be looking for blood to avenge her team. No, she slaps the slider, plays it a little bit slower, and secures a single. We saw Luigi secure a good single in situations like this in the top of the first, but this time, Birdo is on top of it. Birdo is able to bring in the ball, and Birdo is able to secure out number 3. So the Flowers not able to continue their success in the top of the second. Of course, next inning will be a devastating 3-batter rotation from them. So let's see if the Ron Eggs can find anything in the bottom of the second. Inside pitch from Luigi. Caught cleanly by YP. Not only that, but the boo actually won't matter. They're Pianta. They're not fast enough to take advantage of that. Regardless, single for YP. A Statler comes up. Must be funny for Statler. Oh, as a bobble from Daisy. The first bobble of the finals, actually. Let Statler escape to first base safely. We do not expect that level of play from the captain, but it means that Wario comes up with 2 batters on and some extra synergy from Statler. It's a cyclone pitch from Luigi to try to escape that first bit of trouble. Wario just lets it slide. Next one is straight down the middle. He will catch it while pending more train. Don't train interfere again. No. In fact, the train actually kind of helps out the Flowers, blocking the power block. Regardless, it's not a sac fly for a run. It's simply YP advancing over to third while he's got the time. And runners on the corners for the Ron Eggs. They have a chance to regain the lead if YSG can get a single. Down the middle leads to a deep hit. This will be caught out. Will this be a sac fly again? Does YP run for it? Yes, he does. And successfully tags back up on home. So 2 sac flies in a row. Both necessary for YP to manage to make it to home, I suppose. But it is a lead regained for the Ron Eggs here in the bottom of the second. Captain Birdo steps up. She's had a lot of trouble batting so far in the finals. Wants to rectify that with a shot out to center left. But no. Baby Luigi, Baby Daisy there to clean it up. No chance. Say, the Flowers. The train had passed safely. But the buddy jump had left the station. Luigi, feeling the heat though, as his team drops into a 1-run deficit. The Rotten Eggs so far in Game 2 keeping up pretty well with the Flowers offense, but it's this section of the Flowers offense that can prove so devastating time and time and time again. Luigi smacks a good shot to right field, a single to start off this inning. And that's bad news for the Rotten Eggs. The extra synergy can lead to some more devastating offense from Critter and K. Rool. Critter says, I don't need K. Rool. Drilled shot straight down the middle. No chance for the Rotten Eggs defense to get into position. And that's a clean 2-run homer. No train interference. No star power. No problem. Big home run to put the Flowers up to 4. K. Rool could extend it out to a 2-run lead and put them up to 5 here, of course. That's actually a little bit ambivalent. No, okay. Wasn't sure if that was going to manage to just bop off the fence, but no. Instead, Statler manages to run under it to secure out number 1 of the inning. The Flowers swerve back into the lead. They haven't managed to hold that lead through the end of an inning, though. So they need this to be as big as possible, and Baby Luigi getting caught out by second baseman Firebro wasn't a good start. Birdo comes in also on shortstop to secure the throw from Red Yoshi. So the Flowers put up 2. But speaking of devastating starts, this is a pretty good spot in the offense for the Rotten Eggs. If they manage to put up 1, they could deny the Flowers from having a lead so far through the end of the first 3 innings. Salamander slaps it. Fair play from him. You've proven your offense already this game. Take a secure single. Set up the rest of the magic. Thermite. We've seen weak slaps turn to double plays early for him a lot this game. Charge hit out to center field. Can Daisy get under it? Yes, she can. So that means no synergistic runner from Firebro. It's just a runner on first. We'll see. Tying this game may very well land in his hands, but if he can do a 2-run homer to pull the Rotten Eggs into the lead, well, it would have had to have been off that pitch right down the middle, and he's not able to get under it enough. It's just a grounder, but it is still a single. Runner on first, runner on second, as 2 very consistent batters step up to the plate for these Rotten Eggs. Yellow Toad and YP will be up next. They've got 2 runners on. Good hits here could tie the game. A single for Yellow Toad will load the bases. With 1 out, there's always room for this to go awry, and we've seen YP smack some stinkers to lead to those double plays before. Can he avoid the end of the inning now? Well, the outside pitch by Luigi secures strike number 1. Straight down the middle, charge hit from YP. Just touches down safely outside. The Boo also plays a little bit of trouble with the Flowers defense. It's actually a double from YP to bring in 2 runs. And the Flowers do more than tie the game. They get their lead back. Looks like this will be a much higher scoring game compared to Junior's Playroom. Could have predicted that coming into it. But still tight. Statler has 1 out against his team and synergistic runners in second and third, and Luigi knows he doesn't want any of that trouble. Daisy steps in a lot earlier for the Flowers. That's bad news for them. She can tend to tie out quickly, but a little bit of pitcher's blessing strikes as Statler's shot goes straight to shortstop, and a double play does end the inning. Both these teams keeping pace with each other through the first 3. We'll see what the Daisy Chain are able to do, though. And Thermite has officially outlasted Luigi to make it into the 4th inning with no sweat coming off his brow just yet. Baby Daisy's shot to left field does tag down safely, so success in the first twist of the Daisy Chain. JC up next, facing down against Thermite. Simple strike on pitch one. Next one's inside, but she's ready for it. Drills one out to left field as well. But Yellow Toad is able to get under it. The train does stop him from throwing the ball in quite quick enough, but it doesn't matter. Baby Daisy might be fast. She's not fast enough to steal a base under those circumstances. Daisy comes up, though, and with her younger self on first, drills one out to right field. The train's not in position, though. Statler and YSG there for out number 2. 2 outs on the boards for these Flowers. After good outfield shots from JC and Daisy are both caught out. Luigi, though, and Luigi, both very fine batters in their own right, and Luigi proves that. A slap to center field, that's a single. If Luigi can get on base, the Flowers could do more than reclaim this lead. They could, well, blow up the scoreboard. So lots of pressure on Thermite. 2 outs on the board. The batter slaps it to right field, and a mild bobble followed up by a fireball means that the Flowers tie up the game just like that. Yellow Shy Guy not able to get a grip on the ball and pays dearly for it, fumbling in right field and allowing the lightning feed of Baby Daisy to get home. We're tied at 5-5, 2 outs on the board, and Critter stepping up. Big hit could shoot the Flowers into the lead. Line drive to left field. It's not a lead yet. It's loaded bases. But watch out. K-Rool. Loaded bases. Catches the slot. That's gone. Good effort so far on defense on Eggs, but you'll need a bit more as the Flowers put up 5 runs. A grand slam in Grand Slam Galaxy from K-Rool. Shoots the Flowers into the lead, and they put up a 9-5 scoreline. Not just that, but Birdo was subbed in instead of Wario, so that shortstop position a little bit weaker for the Ron Eggs. Doesn't quite matter as pitcher's blessing lands, and Baby Luigi immediately grounds out. But that big 5-run inning is intimidating. It took kind of a very, very lucky set of plays for the Ron Eggs to pull off that type of offense back on Junior's playroom. And the Flowers make it look easy. Baby Luigi makes the catch look easy, as Wario's soft pop to left field is caught easily by the young man. Little Shy Guy does thread the needle between Critter and JC to secure a single, so there is some offensive potential. Sinji on the bases for Captain Birdo. Catches the inside fastball, and it just barely stays fair. That'll let Yellow Shy Guy run all the way to third, and runners will reach the corners for the Ron Eggs. It's a long trek back to catch up from a grand slam, but the players start to march. Salamander catches that hit. Oh god, is that going to stay in? Oh my god! Salamander not with a grand slam, but manages to tuck a 3-run homer out of left field off of what looked like a relatively standard, if not powerful, foul. And the Ron Eggs instantly shrink the lead back to 1. They have the potential to put a dagger in this Flowers offense. If the Flowers can't maintain a lead for an inning after a 5-run inning, Thermite does drill a peach hit. The power block has been caught before. Won't be caught that time, though. And Thermite sneaks onto first. Fire, bro. Don't do this to the Flowers, man. Don't do this to the Flowers. Synergistic runner on first. Inside fastball. No, it's a Flower pitch. That's a guaranteed out if he swings, and he does. So no home run potential. But a tired Daisy does mean extra danger for the Flowers. It's only the bottom of the 4th. Yellow Toad hits one out to right field. This one should fall into Red Yoshi's glove. No, it just barely bounces off the outside field. An extra train interference means Thermite manages to run home. Despite a grand slam, the Flowers are still not able to maintain a lead through an inning. And with the runner on third, the Roneggs could do more than that. They could fire back immediately and get their lead back. Daisy swapped off the mound. K-Rool comes in from catcher's position. And these Roneggs are looking near unbeatable. Still plenty of game left to play. It is only the bottom of the fourth. But YP's single out to right field, you can tell the nerves when Red Yoshi bobbles a play as simple as that one. The Roneggs respond to a 5-run inning with a 5-run inning of their own and sneak back into the lead 9-10. Statler finally ends the inning with a ground out, but that was not the result that we expected. Needless to say. Now, a few things to keep in mind. The Roneggs are in the lead by 1 in part due to lucky train interference leading to a 2-run homer. If you just scratch those 2 points off the board, the Flowers would be in the lead. And keep in mind that it's not always that simple. It could always be more than that. Being an extra batter down your rotation can really help. So regardless, the Flowers having some trouble in the top of the 5th. Red Yoshi and Baby Daisy both didn't find success. JC's boo attempt caught out by Thermite regardless. So it is 3 up, 3 down for them. Still, I hesitate to call this game over. The Roneggs have maintained a lead. But 1 run is not sacred. And while the pitching staff is obviously having some trouble, the offense for the Flowers has absolutely not, and it should prove more than in their wheelhouse to fire back into this game. Wario does land a single to start off the bottom of the 5th, but K-Rool, fastball from hell, caught out by Yellow Shy Guy. Manages to sneak his way up the middle, and his runners on first and second for K-Rool. Birdo steps up in the bottom of the 5th. He's had a lot of trouble, but K-Rool has never had a lot of success on the mound. He might have a hell of a fastball, but it's proved predictable to batters. Inside pitch, another fastball. Weak contact from Birdo. That almost could have been a triple play. But no, it's simply a double, and K-Rool being taken off the mound. Baby Daisy is brought in from center field, and that's a problem. That means that the center fielder, Baby Daisy, is gone. All the synergy is gone. All the speed is gone. And any home run potential from the Roneggs doesn't need train interference now. That would have been a routine caught pop fly for Baby Daisy, but instead, Salamander shot to center field and just a touchdown safely just in time. And Wario scoots in to give the Roneggs a 2-run lead. Thermite versus Baby Daisy. We usually don't see pitcher number 4 in the Flowers pitching rotation, let alone in inning number 5. Fireball does interfere with Luigi. It means he can't have the out on first, but it also caught Salamander running, which means he still had the out on second. The Roneggs with a 2-run lead, as the Flowers return back to the top of their order in the top of the 6th. And there's 1 win condition left for these Flowers. Foot on the gas. Your offense is definitely powerful enough to make up this gap, but they need to go absolutely rampant over this Roneggs defense for the rest of this game. Daisy getting out early is not a great start. Luigi grounding out is not a fantastic start either. So 2 quick outs in the top of the 6th. Luigi does manage to snag 1 up center field, and that's really all the Flowers might need. The first 2 batters, Daisy and Luigi, are good, but they don't have synergy with Critter or K-Rool. Big pop out to right field though, and no train interference means this should be out number 3. No success for the Flowers yet in the top of the 6th. But can they at least stop the bleeding? Can they deny the Roneggs a scoring run for the first inning of this game? Baby Daisy will have to find her way past Fireball if she wants that. Inside pitch. He'll smack it. That slap will lead to a single. If there's one thing you gotta give K-Rool credit for at least, that throwing arm can send daggers in from the outfield. If the ball goes to center field, it's coming back quick. He's one of the few players that could probably turn a... Oh my... I thought it was a funny foul. But he's one of the few outfielders that could turn a bobble! No, the bobble from Critter would have been a double play. Would have put the Flowers in an excellent defensive position. But the nerves starting to step on this team. YP. Oh my. Able to successfully reach first after Fireball interference stops Critter from pulling off a double play yet again. And the Flowers now have to face a 3-run deficit after 2 incredibly unfortunate bobbles. 2 unfortunate item errors turn what was basically an inning that was over into loaded bases with no outs. The Flowers are down by 3. It is a big defensive play from Luigi to catch Warriors' attempt at a right field hit. Can they stop any additional damage? Yellow Shy Guy. Runners on the corners. 2 outs against his team. 2 strikes against him. He has to swing. Fastball right down the middle. Manages to escape to left field still. No. Flowers are not able to seal the leaky faucet. Yellow Toad manages to run home and make this at least a 2-run inning. The Roneggs have yet to go an inning without scoring, and the Flowers fall back on pitcher number 5. Now, good news for them. JC is a very, very capable pitcher. In fact, I would bet that she has pretty good odds of seeing the rest of this through. But down by 4, 3 innings left, and with your star batter starting off the top of the 7th, it's going to be a tricky comeback. And unfortunately for the Flowers, it will be a comeback. This 4-run lead, as K-Rool is caught out by Thermite on shortstop. Baby Luigi facing down against Birdo. He does manage to successfully get on base. That's a good slap. We'll see whether or not the second half rotation from this Flowers offense is able to put in all the work I praise them for being capable of doing. To run on first. Section ball from Birdo. We didn't see those at all game number 1. Another one could secure the strikeout on Red Yoshi, and that'll happen. Swing and a miss. And those are 3 strikes and a second out. At the top of the 7th, the only successful batter so far has been Baby Luigi for these Flowers. Baby Daisy is able to bring out a great shot, assisted a little bit by a pow block. Does Luigi run home? Yes, he does. And he gets home with plenty of time to spare. The Flowers do score 1 to shrink this lead down just a touch. Hate to say it, hate to curse the Roneggs, but honestly, this comeback is very possible. There's a reason the Flowers ended this season at the top of the scoreboard. Birdo says, I don't want to give you any chance though. Suction ball on pitch number 1 for a strike. Inside pitch, just a simple fastball, and JC takes her chance when she gets it. Deep hit to left field. Yellow Toad and Statler are there though. It was a good hit, it was a high hit, but it just wasn't high enough. The offense is stopped at the last possible moment. And the attempt falls just a little bit short. The Flowers are down by 3. They'll have 2 batting chances left, but they've got no outfield synergy anymore. They've got a lot of scary batters to shut down before, well, they realize and take advantage. JC on the mound is a good sign. Slap from Salamander will simply land a Baby Luigi's glove. That's the good speed of a good outfielder. That means that he's able to get under it before the boo even takes effect. Thermite grounding out. And the Flowers are 1 out away from the first quiet inning from the Ron Eggs. But if JC wants it, she has to find it against Firebro. Slap from Firebro. It's a single. It's not a home run. And it's not a runner in scoring position. It's just a single. And Yellow Toad and YP have had so much problems against this Flowers defense. So many problems even. And yes, it's not 3 up, 3 out. But it's the first quiet inning for the Ron Eggs this game in inning number 7. And the Flowers return back to the top of their lineup. Their offense remains as deadly as ever. Birdo knows it. Suction ball against Daisy. She doesn't want the captain drilling a clutch home run this late in the game. Daisy says, I still want it though, but isn't able to find the angle that she needs. She charges up fully, but, well, when you hit straight into the dirt, best you might leave is a crater. Firebro picks up the grounder for out number 1. Luigi now against Birdo. Suction balls continue to fly. It's a whiff of Luigi, strike 2. Straight down the middle for Birdo. Luigi takes advantage and nets a single. Runner on. Luigi getting on base would, of course, once again set up the Flowers for maximum damage. And charge is what you need from him. Can Birdo stop this from becoming a problem? Luigi drills one out to right field. He is caught out by YSG though. That's out number 2. Quitter, your team needs you. Pitch right down the middle. Line drive. Beautifully aimed. That will... Oh no, Luigi safely tags back up on second. K-Rule, if you want your season finals MVP spot, now is the time to earn it. 2 runners on. And he sucks a ball softly coming down the middle. No hope for Statler or Yellow Toad. And the Flowers successfully managed to tie up this game late. The top of the 8th marks an even scoreboard once more. And we have a 13-13 game as Birdo starts to tire. Birdo does more than start to tire, she's taken off the mound. Now, good news for the Ron Eggs, Wario was still sitting in reserve, so they will still have designated pitchers throughout this game, unless the Flowers scoring explodes. Baby Luigi, though, will simply ground out. The green shell just barely misses Firebro. That is a successful 3 runs for the Flowers to manage to knock their way back into a winning position. Of course, it's the Ron Eggs with 2 scoring chances left. They've only had 1 inning where they haven't scored a run, and it was the last one. Can JC's pitching seal this season game? Well, it's a very, very... Look, good pop fly from YP. Brilliant effort. But when even K-Will is able to traipse under your hits, they're not doing much. Statler does manage to at least escape to center field with his slap. That's a single. So Wario has a runner on. JC still has plenty of opportunity to shut down this offense, though. And Wario's not the most consistent batter. He can have a little bit of trouble. They'll pop one out to center field. And K-Rule is able to fire off the shot before the power block is able to stop him. Still, though, single from Statler, single from Wario. Runners on first and second. YSG up with 1 out against him and his team. Batter number 9 with a good position to put the Ron Eggs into a lead heading into the 9th or to doom them. And in a very, very similar shot to Wario's. Wait a second. Statler? Oh my god! K-Rule's cannon of an arm shoots it back to second base so quick that Wario gets caught out at second. But still, catching out Wario meant there was no time to catch out Statler at home. I'm not sure they could have regardless, but still, getting that out number 2 was so key for those Flowers. The Ron Eggs have a 1-run lead heading into the 9th as Birdo's line drive is caught out by K-Rule. It's a 1-run game with 1 inning left to go. The Flowers are in a very awkward part of their offense. If they want to see the bottom of the 9th, The last 3 batters need to come up big, and Red Yoshi starts off beautifully. A simple slap up the middle for a single to start. Baby Daisy can't quite follow it up though. Her grounder to third base turns into a double play. And the Flowers want to see the bottom of the ninth. They can't make any mistakes left. JC, sliders coming at you. You need to get on base. Inside pitch. Caught weakly. But the power block also stunned JC. And the Flowers make it so close both times. But the Ron Eggs managed to seal the deal. They go up 2 wins to 0 losses in the finals. Which means no matter what, we will see, no matter what, well, I was going to say no matter what, we will see Game 5. But for the Flowers to win, we will at least see game number 5 as it's a 13-14 scoreline. And the Ron Eggs start off hot in this finals. I say start off hot, but if they keep going with this pace, they could do more than start off hot. They could sweep the finals, and the, well, Birdo's team could go from last to first in this league. As a reminder, back in Season 1, it was the Birdo Bows who went 1-13 with a negative run differential over negative 100. So now, Yellow Shy Guy MVP. Wait a second, we gotta talk about that. Why? I guess he caught out a good number of home runs, but I'm still pleasantly surprised to see Yellow Shy Guy managing to top the batting scores. I don't know how he did that, but when the Ron Eggs have 5 players over or at 100 points in the box, that is a fiery game from them. So far, both games have been decided by 1 run, but both have fallen in the Ron Eggs' favor. 7-6 on Junior's Playroom. 13-14 on Yoshi Park. But now, at what could be the end of the season, the Flowers sit on death's door. Their home field pick is Luigi's Mansion. The sub-captain goes to home territory to try to ice this game. For the Ron Eggs, have they ever been to Luigi's Mansion, actually? The Ron Eggs have been to Luigi's Mansion, let's see. They didn't go in the preseason. They went to Peach's Ice Garden. They went to Peach's Ice Garden quite a lot. They've been to Luigi's Mansion back on play number 5. The Flowers actually smoked them 10-17. But ever since then, they have not come back. No, the Ron Eggs have only been to Luigi's Mansion once. It was against the Flowers, and the Flowers crushed them. But it's not all rainbow and sunshine for the Flowers. Of course, definitely not in Luigi's Mansion, it's not. Because after all, the Ron Eggs also hadn't been the Flowers at all throughout the regular season. Now they sit up 2-0. So throughout the season, it's 2-2 for both of these teams. And 1 win is all that stands between the Ron Eggs and the Grand Slam Galaxy Season 2 Championship. We'll see if they're able to close it out or whether the run back, the reverse sweep, is possible for these Flowers. It always is an opportunity, but now more than ever, they need to find the gas. I hope that Daisy was able to do a satisfyingly motivational speech heading into game number 3. We'll see whether or not it turns into a W. Is it the last leg for the Flowers? Will the finals end in 3? Or is this the comeback to turn these finals from good to unbelievable? We head now to Luigi's. You can tell I'm stalling just to make sure. We head now to Luigi's Mansion. Oh, what? Oh, hi, Barry. Shit. Hello. What? Hi. Let me explain what's happening. You join me. My name is Will. I make video games. You join me in the Mario CPU League Grand Slam Galaxy Season 2 Grand Finals. Right now, the Rotten Eggs, seed number 2 ending the season 10-4, are facing off against the Flowers, who ended the regular season 11-3. Both teams winning their semifinals after getting a bye to make it to these finals and face off against each other. Our first 2 games, 1 run decided it. Both games being decided in the 9th, but the Rotten Eggs managed to snag both, winning on Bowser Jr.'s Playroom, a very defensive-focused map, 7-6, turning around and storming back in Yoshi Park, a much higher scoring game. That one ended 13-14, still in the Rotten Eggs' favor. Now, they'll have to see what they're able to do on Luigi's Mansion. This has been a comfort pick for the Flowers. The outfield plays a little bit closer inside. Those graves, if hit by a wayward ball, can turn into traps for the outfielders and provide extra disruption. The Rotten Eggs, well, their first 3 batters aren't able to find any success in the first. Birdo, of course, getting out, and while Salamander, the red critter, did manage to get a good single, Thermite turns around and hits into a double play. Nothing in the top of the first for them. Might be a field of nightmares, if anything, as Daisy starts off for these Flowers. If they want this game, if they want these finals, if they want this championship, they have to reverse sweep. Still, though, home field advantage on Luigi's Mansion, nothing to sniff at, especially when in the regular season, when these two teams faced off, it was 10-17 in favor of the Flowers. Luigi's hit being caught out by Birdo, though, for a double play means that we might not see any luck to start off the first. Birdo, captain of her team, proving so clutch in that shortstop position, contributing to all 3 outs. We won't see any runs to start. Now, you get to see the first heavy slugger, Firebro, for the Rotten Eggs. Given a little bit of a boost of star power, is a deep slugger. We can turn out big home runs, but, well, when you've got a weird field like Luigi's Mansion, when you've got fast outfielders like Red Yoshi out in right field, turns out those deep hits can just end up as out on the scoreboards all the same. Yellow Toad is a pretty consistent slapper in his own right, so the Rotten Eggs still have plenty of leeway to get their offense going in the second, and they successfully do so. A slap from Yellow Toad leads to a single. Good on him. Now, it's up to YP. YP! He's got a runner on. Luigi, of course, has been such a great pitcher throughout so much of this season, and he's proving to continue with just that. YP slapped to left field, caught out by baby Luigi very easily for out number 2. 1 out is all that separates the Rotten Eggs from heading back to the bench. No production through the first 2 innings is not really expected. Luigi's Mansion tends to favor the offense. Statler does manage to slide a shot just up the middle for a single. So, runner on first and second, and if they want to see any success, Wario could do it. He's a little bit of an inconsistent batter, but when he hits hard. Charge up, launches the first pitch. 2 outs against his team, and he knows it. Can he snag it? It's a big pop fly. Daisy, don't flinch! She doesn't flinch from the bananas. Knocks the ball over to Red Yoshi, who actually catches the out, but the Flowers successfully shut down the Rotten Eggs through 2, and we'll head into the bottom of the second. I hyped up the Rotten Eggs offense. Thanks, Almas. I hyped up the Rotten Eggs offense at the start of the second with their power hitter Firebro. But the Flowers have the better offense, I would argue, and this combo is the key. Critter and K. Rool. Batter number 4 and batter number 5. Weak hit from Critter, but saved by the power block. Yes, he can get on base. And let's learn why K. Rool is one of the best batters in this season. Watches pitch number 1 from Thermite. Outside pitch. Doesn't charge. He just watches the slider. That's confidence. Don't show me up twice. Charge ups down the middle. He's not able to get under it. It's a line drive. It's a single. It's about the same that Firebro did. So, not able to escape. Still though, while that is both big hitters for both teams not getting the big home runs they're capable of, there's no out against these Flowers. Baby Luigi's a fine slapper in his own right. I wouldn't be mad if he swung on it. He's trying to bunt, but with 2 strikes, we usually don't see Grand Slam Galaxy players bunt on 2 outs. A weak hit. The Bomb-Bomb! Okay. After a little bit of a scramble, the Bomb-Bomb disrupting both K. Rool as the runner and Firebro as the receiver. Baby Luigi, with his speed, is able to tag up to first on the confusion, but K. Rool is not able to get to second. The Flowers resort to runners on the corners. Red Yoshi up now. You saw his speed, but his slapping power just not able to do it. Birdo able to snag the attempt at a left field slap and turn the double play, meaning that neither of these hard-hitting teams have managed to score anything through the first 2 innings. Yellow Shy Guy versus Luigi. YSG, good slap down the middle. Gotta love the Shy Guys. We saw them in Season 1. Birdo's team was packed to the brim with Shy Guys, and they struggled. Birdo's team as a whole struggled back in Season 1, going 1-11. But now they fired back and managed to get all the way to the finals, ending the league regular season 2nd place. Still though, despite Yellow Shy Guy's success at the bat, Birdo just hit into a double play. And Salamander, bat number 2 in the lineup for the Rotten Eggs. Strike zone right down the middle. This is so hard for these outfielders. You will not see any other outfield catch that ball. Look at the distance that Baby Luigi had to scramble, and they barely got it in time. That outfield playing just that extra couple steps in is the doom of so many players. But if there's one thing the babies can do, it's run around like, well, maniac cats at 3 a.m. Heroic play to keep this game scoreless into the bottom of the 3rd. Well played by Statler and Yellow Shy Guy in outfield. They're not slacking either. So it's up to JC. She's not able to do much more luck either. Wario with good reflexes slides over from 3rd base to secure out number 2. The Flowers are back at the top of their batting order. But, well, they've got 2 outs on the board in exchange for that progress. We've seen big home runs from Daisy before, but all Wario has to do is reach down and snag her attempt. And that's out number 3. We won't see any runs through the first 3 innings now. That is not what we expect. That's not what we expect at all. Thermite, bat number 3 for the Rotten Eggs. When you're in situations like this, looking at where they are in the batting order can help. It's a good, easy way without checking the hit count of, like, who's having more offensive success. The Rotten Eggs are starting off the top of the 4th with their 3rd batter in their lineup, and the Flowers will be starting off with the 2nd batter in their lineup. Firebro comes in big, though. Deep hit. Red Yoshi is not going to be able to get there in time, and the scoring has started. The Deep Slugger didn't exactly do it when I was hyping him up, but a watched batter never hits a home run. Right when you let it slip, that's the first big dinger, and the Rotten Eggs are up on the scoreboard. As a reminder, the Rotten Eggs sit up 2-0 in this series. If they manage to take this game, they will clean sweep the finals. The Flowers have home field advantage. Yellow Toad's attempt at right field is caught out. Thanks, y'all. Now, YP is pretty good at slaps, but his slaps are turning out too powerful this day. It's a simple catch by Baby Luigi in left field. And while Firebro was able to put up 1, runs around the bases are a lot more secure in Grand Slam Galaxy than home runs. Home runs are nice, but they can be inconsistent. And I still expect these offenses to crack the game open later in the game. So it's a good start, but we'll see whether or not the Flowers are able to respond in kind. Birdo is such a wall at shortstop, though, catching out Luigi's attempt to slap down the middle. Luigi. Up next, another slap, another catch by Birdo. If the Flowers want to tie this game, they need to do it now with Critter and K. Rool. Thermite on the mound still. Of course, the lower scoring, the less pressure there are in these pitchers, the longer we can expect them to last on the mound. The longer the initial pitchers last on the mound, well, the harder it is to break through. Critter does slap it, though. I'm not going to jinx it. I'm going to turn to the left. Nothing is going to happen here. I don't even know who's at the plate. We couldn't see anything right now. This is a spinach smoothie. It's good. I tried so hard. But K. Rool can't find contact. His grounder simply slides over to Firebro on second base. And the Ron Eggs are the first to score and successfully follow that up by leaving the inning with a lead. We enter now the top of the fifth, halfway point approaching. Will that be contact for K. Rool? It's bad contact. Statler does manage to slap up the middle for a single. Wario is up next. With Synergy on the base, we can expect a little bit more power behind Wario's swing, of course. For those of you who are not familiar with the wonderful world that is Mario Baseball, pause. That's caught out. For those of you who are not familiar with the wonderful world of Mario Baseball, you may notice sometimes little notes appear above players' heads. That's because those players like each other. They spend a lot of time in the clubhouse. They maybe go out for a beer or two after the game, of course, presuming they are over the age of 18. I'm looking at you, outfield. You can get a Shirley Temple. Big pop fly from Yellow Shy Guy will simply be a clean out. Number 2, the bobble! Okay. Critter isn't able to catch it, but the result is the same as Daisy simply slides over and grabs it. No matter what, it's a runner on first. No matter what, it's an out. But can you not give us a heart attack like that? You are in the finals, Critter. You are better. Okay, good cleanup. Critter makes the diving play to snag the slap from Birdo before it's able to get to center field. Hopefully that helps his morale a little bit. Hell of a jump scare. And the Ron Eggs still maintain that 1-run lead, but 1 run is so fragile. Regardless, Synergy. Some players like each other. Those players can throw faster to each other. Those players will hit harder if their friends are on the bases. Those players can perform special buddy actions. They've trained together. They know the routine. So, it's not just power. It's not just good defense that you're looking when you're building a team in Grand Slam Galaxy. You need synergy. You need a team that meshes well. And God help them if they don't like each other. Otherwise, you might see some throws start to run astray. Like we have a couple of times with Birdo and Wario, who, despite having a rocky relationship, have managed to lead their team to these finals. Baby Daisy, the start of the Daisy chain, does manage to get on base. JC will have to follow it up. She's got 2 strikes against her, 2 outs. There's not infinite time in this game, Flowers. And JC striking out is bad news to start that up. The Ron Eggs at the most devastating section of their lineup. Batter 2, 3, 4. Salamander, Thermite, Firebro. Salamander wants to start off well. That shot's to left field. Does he go for second? No. No. Baby Luigi is fast enough to grab that before there's any more damage, and it's just a single he'll have to settle for. Thermite can follow it up, though. 1 strike against him. Luigi, outside pitch, caught. That's dangerous. That's the pocket. Center left field. Can Salamander get all the way home off this? No. It's just a double. But watch out. Runner on second. Runner on third. Firebro is up. He's gotten 1 home run this game. It's a cyclone pitch from Luigi. But it's just strike number 1. Next pitch, charge up from Firebro. Contact right down the middle. But it won't be powerful enough. 2 runners will successfully get to home plate. The Ron Eggs will go up 3-0. And a 3-run lead is pretty solid. Of course, we saw the Flowers score 17 on this field before. Luigi is starting to tire, though. Okay, Luigi, you need to secure some outs here. You need to stop the bleeding. 3 runs is very manageable in 4 innings, but you can't let it get worse than that. A ground ball. But the double green shell hit knocks out both the infielders and lets Yellow Toad get all the way to first. Run on first and second for the Ron Eggs. YP. No way. Baby Luigi, you gotta go a little bit faster, but he's blocked by the grave. YP with a big home run. We don't see that from the Beyonces. We usually see slaps. They're so good at getting on base. Whenever they go for power, it so often blows up in their faces. But here, in the deciding game of the finals, YP comes up big, and the Ronix shoot out to a 6-0 lead. There's still no outs on the board here. We might as well have started in this position as Statler comes up and Daisy's subbed in. This flower pitch can be so devastating for offenses. Look at the weakness behind that. But the banana fakes out Luigi. And Statler is able to get on base regardless. But on first, still no outs against this Roneg's offense as they start to run a rough shot on Luigi's mansion. Outside pitch from Daisy. Wario shot grounds. Luigi and Critter turn up. That's quick plays, quick hands, and a quick 2 outs. Top of the 6th. Finally looks like it might come to an end here. Yellow Shy Guy steps up. No help on the bases, but he doesn't need it quite yet. Slap straight up the middle, nets a single. We talked a little bit, of course, as the Rotten Eggs return to the top of their order with Birdo. She has no item support. If she swings, she's dead. Wisely keeping calm on the flower pitch. Inside fastball caught by Birdo, but it's an easy ground catch routine from Luigi to close that inning out. 5 runs in the 6th. Turn this from a 1-run game straight up to 6. Now, it was in game 2 where the Flowers scored 5 of their own runs in an inning, and the Roneggs immediately shot back with 5 of their own. The boo stops Yellow Shy Guy from getting under the ball just in time, and Daisy is saved by an inch. The right fielder stopped from grabbing that, lets the captain successfully get a double. Power block needed! Power block devastating! Daisy's just barely able to tag safely up on third. But the power block, not enough to let Luigi make it to first. He gets out, advancing Daisy. Luigi gets out as Firebro reels it in. The Flowers' chance at scoring run is set on third. They just need a good base hit from Critter. 2 outs on the board. Pressure is on. Item support in the pocket if need be. Slap will go to left field. Boo could be devastating here. But Critter stays on first regardless. His slap lets Daisy run home, and the captain will bring in the first run. The scoreboard has started to light up for the Flowers, but they have a long way to dig out of this hole. There's anyone to do it, though. K-Rool, I hyped you up, man. It's a slap. It's not enough for a big 2-point swing, but it is enough for a single and to put a run on first and second. Any mistake, though, ends this inning for the Flowers. Baby Luigi, not the most consistent hitter. If it charges, that's good. A charge hit would be great. Slap hit, still more than good enough. The shell does whiff, but it's loaded bases for the Flowers. Loaded bases and Red Yoshi. Item support on the board. The Flowers need this hit. Red Yoshi, you need to charge. Fastball caught. Doesn't matter that it wasn't charged. It successfully escapes to left field. The Flowers bring in 2 for this inning and remain with loaded bases. Okay. It's good. It's not great. There's still a grand slam down. Baby Daisy, can you bring this in? I hyped up. The Flowers' back half of their offense is the offense you expect to fold, to have so much trouble. Power block? No, that's still an out. Oh! No way! The power block just barely keeps the defense dead just in time, and rather than throwing it to third for an easy out, Fireball makes a mistake, thinks he can stop the runner at first, and all the runners with their speed just barely manage to tag up. Look at the outfield. They've loaded the bases, and those outfielders have managed to just barely tag up safely. A big 3-run inning for the Flowers. Star hit from JC goes to left field. 1 runner is being brought in. A second runner is being brought in. Baby Daisy might get caught out. She tags up safely, but I said it before, I'll say it again. When the Flowers turned up in game number 2, the Roneggs responded in kind. And it looks like they were not letting that favor go unrepaid, as it's a 6-5 game. And the Flowers have the chance to tie it. Runners on second and third. Daisy trying to bring in Baby Daisy and JC. Do not ask questions. Charge hit up the middle. But Birdo reels it in. She will throw out the captain. Captain on captain violence ends this game. We are back to a 1-run deficit as the Flowers do all that on 2 outs. One mistake during that entire chain of events and they were gone. But the team holds it together and momentum firmly swings back their way. Salamander caught out by Critter on a grounder. No luck getting out to the outfield that time. So Thermite, batter number 3 in the Roneggs batting order, will have to do it by himself. His item support from Firebro slaps the outside pitch, but Luigi is there. Shortstop and second base, both getting in position. Firebro, we saw you open up the scoreboard. He wants it again with another big hit down the middle, but with no item support and just not enough power. That's an easy catch from Baby Daisy. They can't keep getting away with it. They can't keep getting away with it. We are entering the bottom of the 7th. 1 run separates these teams. Luigi, his pop fly to left field. The boo won't be able to stop. Left fielder's there. Center fielder's there. Shortstop Birdo was running just to see if they needed any extra help. But regardless, it's out number 1 against the Flowers. Luigi not able to find any more luck. He tried a little bit more of a direct route to left field, but he was caught out by Birdo at shortstop. Critter now. Well, we saw a big 2-out rally last inning. Critter wants to repeat that type of success, but it's staying inside the infield, and Statler is able to grab it. That's out number 3. So, neither teams have any scoring in the 7th. The Flowers, their season rests on 2 more opportunities in the bottom of the 8th and the bottom of the 9th. Daisy is hanging in there. She swapped in pretty early in this game, but she's been doing a great job despite the pressure of that 7th inning, keeping it locked down. Yellow Toad there with a beautiful line drive down the first baseline. Will net a double. That's trouble for the Flowers. That's a runner in scoring position. YP did hit a beautiful home run earlier this game, but has to not fall for the fly ball trick. He doesn't swing on that one. Inside pitch this time. Swings on the fastball. And that slap power is exactly what I praised the Piantas for before. Bit of a trouble for the Flowers. They're down by 1, and the Roneggs are in beautiful position. Runners on the corners, no outs against them for Statler. And his shot mirrors Yellow Toad's and goes down the first baseline, bringing in a run and allowing YP to reach all the way to third base. The Flowers put up a hell of an effort, but they're now down by 2. They could easily be down by 3 if YP isn't stopped, and it's hard to stop a runner on third with no outs on the board. Wario versus Daisy. Slap goes right to Luigi, who turns it over to first base. Double play is exactly what the Flowers needed. Can they stop Yellow Shy Guy, or can he bring in the runner? A clean slap right down the middle. Nerves continue to pile on as Baby Daisy bobbles it. And the Roneggs stand in a 3-run lead here with 2 innings left. Baby Daisy. Daisy being tired is also damning evidence. They need the captain to try to stay on the board. Critter diving for Birdo's shot up the middle. Does secure out number 3. They're down by 3. They're in a very awkward spot. K-Rool batting is not what you want to start an inning. He's a great batter, but he just hasn't been able to turn up on Luigi's Mansion. And okay. Big shot out to right field for a single for the King. Still though, I mean, look, it's been great line drives from K-Rool, but you expect home runs that leave the atmosphere from him. And as Baby Luigi's ball is caught out by Birdo, the Flowers will go back to 2 outs. They are running out of chances here. Will it be a clean sweep finals? Red Yoshi facing down Wario. Slaps it. Roberto simply snags it for out number 3. This is it. Well, this is not it, actually. Excuse me. The Ronix still have a batting order. 3 runs. The Ronix are up by 3 runs. They have a 2-game lead in the finals. And the Flowers need to stop any additional damage as the Ronix start in the most dangerous section of their batting lineup. Salamander doesn't have any luck. His pop to left field is caught out early. Thermite just barely threads the needle, goes under the jumping Luigi and gets a single. Daisy, now more than ever, can you shut down Fire Bro? Outside pitch is strike number 1. Daisy, you need to stop him. That's good. There's no item support. Infield, well, it's not even an infield fly. It's simply Fire Bro being caught out. That's out number 2. Do you see this game through? Don't swap out to Baby Daisy. K-Rool is fine. K-Rool comes in from the catcher's position. Problem is, his pitches can be pretty predictable to these batters. Strike number 1. Yellow Toad nails one out to right field. It will be fair. It will be a single. Okay. That's fine. As long as no runners reach home, the Flowers will not be a grand slam down. YP slaps one right up the middle. Baby Daisy gets her glove on it, but it's now loaded bases. Your chances to defuse this are running out, Flowers. K-Rool, can you force an out from Statler? Lightning fastball for strike number 1. Do not let Statler get on base. Inside hit. Critter secures it. By an inch, the Flowers stop any additional bleeding in the top of the 9th. But this is it. This is their last chance. Bottom of the 9th. And the daisy chain could decide it all. Batter number 8, batter number 9, batter number 1 for these Flowers. Baby Daisy, you need to get on base. The slider from Wario escapes for strike number 1. Outside pitch now. Baby Daisy is ready for it, but it just goes straight to Thermite on third base. Out number 1. 2 chances remaining. JC up against Wario. Charge is what you like to see, but don't hit it straight down the baseline. Outside, watches it fly for a ball. Pressure's on as it comes down center plate. That's a good hit. That's a very good hit. That's a very good hit. Stay in. JC with a solo shot bomb in the bottom of the 9th. Yes, Baby Daisy grounds out, but JC scores 1 of the 3 runs. It's even pace right now. 1 out, 1 run. 3 outs end the game. 3 runs extend the game. Daisy, the captain, your team relying on you, catches the slider straight up the middle, but it's too far. Statler catches it for out number 2. Any mistake now from the Flowers ends the season. Luigi, slider, strike 1. Keep you cool, man. He was named Mr. Consistency in Season 1 for his strong slapping ability, but he's had so much trouble in Season 2. Trick ball from Wario was seen through, though, and it's just far enough that Firebow isn't able to catch it. Quite the accomplishment considering the range from Firebow. That brings up Luigi, batter number 3. Another trick ball from Wario. He knows the stakes. Luigi watches it fly. He's not under pressure yet, just 1 strike. Charge is what you want to see. That's straight down center field. That will avoid Statler's grasp. No, Luigi's running for second. Don't get caught out on second. The season ends off of a running error with Critter and K-Rool in the pocket. Your 2 sluggers ready to bring this game back. Luigi, in the desperate situation his team was in, tries to take 1 step further than he needed. And the Rotten Eggs stand as your Grand Slam Galaxy Season 2 champions. Of all the ways for the Flowers season to end, Luigi going for broke, running for second, and leading to the team being clean swept with Critter and K-Rool ready on deck to bring this game to extra innings. Wind snuffed out from under them. Okay. Regardless, let's do this properly. Ladies and gentlemen, your Grand Slam Galaxy Season 2 champions are the Rotten Eggs. Birdo's team comes back from last place in the league to shoot up all the way to a finals clean sweep. 3-0 for this team in the finals after not picking up any games against the Flowers throughout the regular season. A little bit of a revitalization of their batting lineup heading into the last game is enough to pull through. Yellow Pianta, MVP honors for his team in the finals. That big 3-run homer is what gave his team the victory here, at least if you divide it down the numbers cleanly. And it's a good effort from the Flowers. But, as I've said before, but as is the first time is appropriate, it's time to give the Flowers their flowers. The last elimination from Season 2. You may remember, in Season 1, the Flowers just squeaked into the playoffs, I believe as the 6th seed, before revitalizing their lineup there and blasting through the 3rd seed opponent to make it into the semifinals, where they were eliminated by, I believe, future champions, the Bowser Jr. Rookies. Now in Season 2, firing back from that taste of what it feels like to be a real threat of a team. The offense, the defense, so strong for the Flowers for so much of the season. That pitching core of Luigi and Daisy, insane. Shut down so many teams. Led to quite a few number of easy games for those Flowers. And the offensive ability. Critter, K-Rool, deep hitters who can turn home runs out of nothing. We saw that in Game 1 and Game 2. The slappers, Baby Luigi, Red Yoshi, and Baby Daisy. Typically on other teams, you might put them in. You might say, okay, your goal is to be a good outfielder. If you get out, it's fine. Your goal here is just to get some extra base hits when we need it, keep our offensive rotation moving, and keep our pressure alive. But throughout so much of the regular season, throughout the semifinals, they turned up huge for their team. But despite it all, the Flowers run out of gas at the last possible moment. Critter and K-Rool put up such a brilliant fight through the first 2 games. But in game number 1, the Rotten Eggs just barely managed to clutch it out in inning number 9. In game number 2, the Rotten Eggs again barely clutched it out in game number 9. And in game number 3, down to the last inning, a base running error is the way the Rotten Eggs become your Season 2 champions. Let's talk a little bit about what brought the Rotten Eggs to this successful point. Now, it's a little bit of an odd synergistic package for this team. Unlike a lot of teams, there's actually no way for them to go through all 9 batters with synergy the entire way. The red core of this team, Salamander, Thermite, and Firebro, inherently conflict with the yellow core of Yellow Toad, YP, Statler, Wario, and Yellow Shy Guy, and Birdo was able to plug in there fair enough on her own. But despite those breaks in synergies, it's consistent play across the board that once again crowns a champion. For those of you who paid attention during Season 1, the rookies, the Bowser Jr. Rookies, champions there, piloted there in part by having 2 critters, Brown Critter and Green Critter, Fire Bro, and on top of Bowser Jr., 5 Jersey players, which brought the consistency, which brought the constant pressure in order to pull out the victory. And yet again, constant pressure proves a winning formula. There's no weak hitters on this squadron. The weakest is arguably Yellow Shy Guy, but still, he turns out fine enough on his own. And that great offensive pressure proved just good enough for a lot of teams to not be able to handle. But regardless, if you look at the Rotten Eggs' success over the course of the season, a lot of teams had more than enough trouble scoring against them. That defensive core, just like the Flowers, they've got 2 captain tier pitchers on their team. Birdo and Wario, which turn out that pitching depth can really stop late game collapses. Thermite, as well as a starting pitcher, really excelling for his team. And when you combine those two sections of that team, that's enough for Birdo, and I believe Yellow Shy Guy was on the Bows in Season 1, but I would have to check, to go from last in the league to your Season 2 champions. That is it for Grand Slam Galaxy. If you have any curiosity in how the rest of the season progressed, you can, of course, catch the VODs over on my YouTube channel, Trolling Fire as well. If, of course, you have any curiosity there, it's a little up in the air for Season 3. I cross my fingers, but we'll see. We gotta get some coaches back in, gotta check. There will, of course, be a break. Running Grand Slam Galaxy takes up a lot of my time, and time is a bit of a precious resource for me right now. So, Season 3 will probably be at least a month break before we see that. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Grand Slam Galaxy Season 2 has been quite a blast. If you stayed over here from the Bay Raid, I appreciate you quite a lot. And we're going to go make Mizu Wolf's Day, who is playing Death Stranding Director's Cut. They are quite a nice person, and I hope that you enjoy watching some Death Stranding. I have been your commissioner, your Ron Eggs home commentator. Thank you, everyone, for joining me for Grand Slam Galaxy Season 2. I hope very much to see you in Season 3. And until next time, play ball. Good night, everybody. And if you're still here, we are the champions, my friends.